My bad, family. My camera accidentally went off, but whatever. Alright, what I was saying was, if you're gonna eat meat consciously, and if you're gonna, like I said, not condoning it at all, but if you're being in a situation like me where sometimes it's kind of forced and you really don't have an option, or just maybe you just want to have meat one day. Well, there's a way you can go about doing this without having the spirits of the animal that was tortured, beaten, and harmed during this whole process, without that spirit coming back to haunt you. That's the way I like to look at it, because if you think about it, when you eat meat, these animals weren't killed in a orderly fashion, you know what I'm saying? You see what I mean? It's torture put on these animals before they get to your plate. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, is that the spirits of these animals, since they were beaten and tortured and pumped up with drugs and all this other stuff, these animals did not die peacefully, so therefore they're still hovering over their... This is the way I think of it. That entity is still there, hovering over that body, still watching it, just waiting to get revenge on the person who's consuming it and the person that put them in that position. Because if they were just in nature doing their thing, their life would have been a lot longer, it would have been a lot better, a lot more prosperous, things like that. So if you look at it in the Amen respects of that animal being tortured, killed, beaten, pumped up with all sorts of shit, and before you eat that meat, what I like to do, or what I did was, while I was consuming meat, was I would actually try to contact the actual spirit of that particular animal. So let's say I wanted to have a hot dog one day. I would actually go within myself and ask and tell the pigs, or the pork, the pork, pig, same thing. See, that's another thing about the meats, man. They don't ever call it what it is. If you're really conscious, you can sit back and honestly dissect that. They don't call eating a pig having a pig. They say, oh, you want to have some pork? I'm about to cook up this pork right now, da 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 da. Same thing with cows. They're not like, oh, I'm about to go to McDonald's and give me a cow burger. No. They call it a hamburger. And then on top of that, the shit, it has nothing to do with a cow in the name, but yet that's what you're eating. They try to desensitize it. I'm sorry if my words... Well, I'm not sorry. I'll take that back. My words sometimes don't actually come off to be exactly what I mean, so hopefully you can read in between the lines and draw your own conclusion of what I'm really trying to convey to you. But anyway, avenging deaths. Back to avenging deaths, right? So I brought all that up to bring it back to this. Avenging deaths. So I make contact with those beings. I say, for instance, if I was eating a hot dog, pork, aka pork, I would be like, pigs, I'm sorry for what these people have done to you. I'm sorry that you've went through this pain just for me to eat. Just for me to have this energy. First thing you want to do is let them know that you do, honestly, from the bottom of your heart, regret what they had to go through just for you to have energy, I guess you can say, from their death. You know what I mean? And just that in itself, just if you were to just do that, step one right there, if you were to just do that, that will already take some of the programs built inside of the meat that control you after you consume it. That would automatically take some of those programs out, because you're no longer desensitized to eating the flesh and the blood. You're actually feeling remorse and feeling sorry. Or, I don't know if there's a better word than sorry right now, but that's just the word I'm going to use. But just the fact that you regret, or, you just don't like the fact that it's been killed just for you to eat. And if you're bringing that up to the spirit, that spirit will have a little bit more leniency on you as far as what it's going to do to your body and your mind. So the next step you want to do is this is for that extra high level people right here. You want to go to your altar. This is why I put this video together with the meats and the altar and avenging of the deaths, because in order to avenge Bailey, chill. It's my little doggy. Bailey, stop. Queen Bailey, by step. Alright, but yeah, this is my little puppy. But yeah, what I'm saying is, if you want... Bailey, relax. Relax. If you want to avenge the deaths of these animals and of all these meat products that you eat without, you know, having it affect you, you know what I mean? What you can do is, you can set you up a little altar. Like me personally, I got me a little altar over there. You know what I'm saying? That's my little sacred spot. Got me some candles. And what you do is, you just do some magic on their ass. That's all you gotta do. Light you some candles. Me personally, I just come up with my own little magical spells or whatever you want to call it, and just basically what I used to do was I used to use the energy from eating the pork and the beef and all that to avenge the deaths of these animals. Now I don't do this anymore because I don't eat meat. I'm trying to wait for my dog to start barking. That's why I'm pausing so much. Hold on. Shh. Alright, but anyway. But yeah, you can just come up with your own little magic or whatever you want to do. Just make sure that your intent behind it is to avenge the death of this animal, of whatever you're eating. So now, instead of that pig or that cow or that chicken or whatever you chose to eat that you probably shouldn't have been eating, now instead of that spirit coming back and hunting you, it's actually going to look at you like a god. It's going to look at you like, oh, okay, you're doing the right thing, instead of just consuming me and being like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, it's just food. It's already dead. Whatever. I'm just going to eat it, and I'm going to get full, go to sleep, and wake up and do it again. No. That spirit from that meal you just had is actually going to look at you like a god, like an Elohim, like a real nigga, like somebody who they can actually trust to consume these things and not take advantage of it. The killing of animals and shit, it's been desensitized if you think about it, especially in modern day society. Like back in the day, if you think about it, like with the Indians and all them and shit, when they used to kill an animal, they killed it themselves. That's the number one thing. They killed it themselves. You know what I'm saying? They didn't just walk into a fucking store, buy the shit, cook it up, and then, you know what I'm saying, eat it or whatever without paying their respects to the ancestors. You know what I'm saying? If you are going to eat shit like that, what I'm trying to tell you is that you need to pay your respects. You know what I'm saying? You can't just go around, eat whatever the fuck you want, not pay your respects and think, you know, your mind is going to be in the right place, because it's not. It won't be in the right place unless you avenge the deaths of these animals. Now, who are you avenging? Who are you avenging? How are you gonna avenge the death of something that's already gone, right? That's probably what you're asking yourself. Well, what I did, it's gonna sound crazy for some of you, but what I did was I literally just did a little ritual, made up my own ritual. You know what I'm saying? You can do the same thing. It's all about your intent. It's all about where your mind state is, and where you're directing the energy. So if I know I want to avenge the death of this pig or whatever, I'm going to eat it, you know what I'm saying, let it digest. bicycle. Might want to ride the bike around the block a few times just to get some energy going. Then you come back into your room, go to your altar that you should have set up. Go to your altar, light a few candles, and then do your little ritual. And you want to ask the spirit or the animal entity that you're dealing with, that you just consumed, you want to ask that entity to basically, instead of that energy that it was going to use to basically haunt you and be like, oh, you know what, you ate me, and motherfucker, you didn't even fucking care what I went through. Before you ate me, you just ate me and fucking went to sleep. Like, fuck you, I'm about to fuck with your mind. Like, that's basically what happens when you eat meat, whether you know it or not. That's basically what happens. So a way to counteract that would be to avenge the death, like I said. So you want to ask that spirit to, instead of hunting you and cursing your being and making your brain waves not think the right way, allow you to use that energy to basically get back at the people who put them in that situation to be tortured, killed, and fucked up. So it might sound messed up to some of y'all, like, oh, you're gonna hurt other people because, you know, they hurt this animal. Yes, yes, yeah.